I am going to talk to you today about uh, how to track, how to monitor your health, how to monitor your health, whether you are going into a diabetes, whether you are going into heart diseases, something like that. If we can monitor them, then we can take measures to not to go into our heart diseases risk, not to go into diabetes mellitus. That the diabetes mellitus arise in the adults. So there is a system, that's an easy way for you to diagnose, so you to understand whether you are in trouble with insulin. The biggest problem with insulin is in type 2 diabetes mellitus is that you have higher insulin levels circulating in your blood, and they are lethargic, they are resistant. Just like that in Sri Lanka we have very high government employees in offices and country, or they are not taking much of a responsibility about their duty. So the insulin also, they don't take much of a responsibility, they cannot, they are lethargic and they are resistant to do their responsibility. There is a responsibility with insulin. So the responsibility with insulin is when we take protein, fat, or glucose, they have to take it to organs to store, to muscles, or to liver, or to skin, under the skin, fat layer. So that should be the way that insulin should work, responsibility. When they are not doing their responsibility, so you are going into high bellies, big bellies, and you are going into high blood pressures, high upper pressure, that is systolic, or lower pressure, that is diastolic. Both may be, or either one may be high. And then other one is uh, you are getting into higher glucose concentration in your blood and higher fatty acid circulation in your blood. If that is there, if those things are there, then we can get to know we are going on path to get diabetes, or we are going in a path to go into heart diseases. So you see, it can monitor. So what we call there is this thing called metabolic syndrome, that is pre-diabetic, and that is pre-heart disease or something like that. So how can we know whether we are going into, if we know whether we are going into, we can stay without getting them. Once you get type 2 diabetes, then you cannot cure that. It's going to be a chronic disease, but you can control before getting into diabetes. That is how you get the resistance. You identify whether your insulin is lethargic, whether your insulin is not doing it responsibility, whether you have higher insulin but they are resistant, their tissues are resistant to the insulin. So how to measure? There are 5 uh, things that you can measure. Out of those 5, you have more than 3, that means you are in trouble. So what are those 5? One is, you can just take your measuring tape and put it around your belly. Belly means there should be a specific place, that is you feel your pelvic bone, your hip bone, and see the top level of that. It's closer to umbilical level, but you have to take your sides. From your sides, you can feel your bones top level. At that top level, you go around the belly and see whether your circumference of the belly for male, if it is over 40 inches, if it is over 40 inches, and for female, if it is over 35 inches, then that is one criteria is fulfilled, metabolic syndrome. The other second criteria is triglyceride level. If your triglycerides level are more than 150 milligram per deciliter, then that is an indicator of insulin resistance. And other one is HDL levels. If it is low, HDL is high density lipoprotein. When you get to a lipid profile, you can go through them. Doctors may tell, sometimes they don't tell, but you should know. For men, it is milligrams. You need higher than 40 milligrams per deciliter. Or if it's in millimoles, the lab is measuring millimoles, it is 1 millimole per liter. It should be higher than 1 millimole per liter or 40 milligram per deciliter for males. And for females, it is little bit higher levels are needed. That is, you need more than 1.3 millimoles per liter, high density lipoproteins. And if we are going in milligrams per deciliter, it should be more than 50 milligram per deciliter. So that is about HDL. I told about triglyceride, and now I told about 3. Fourth one is high blood pressure. It can be either your higher blood pressure or lower blood pressure. Higher blood pressure, if it is more than 130, you are at millimeters of mercury, you are at a risk. And if it diastolic, that is low pressure, is more than 85 milligrams of mercury, and then that is you are at a risk. That is one other criteria fulfilled. And then fasting blood sugar. Fasting blood sugar is we consider it's normal. Doctor may say, oh, you are normal, 110 milligrams per deciliter. But if it is even within normal limit, if it is more than 100 milligram per deciliter or 5.6 millimoles per liter, then the one other criteria, fifth criteria also fulfilled. So just go through those 5 criteria when you get the blood pressure, when you measure your belly circumference, and go get your blood pressure measurements and calculate and see that what does that indicate. This is indicating, at the beginning I told, insulin resistance. Your insulin is lot of insulin in your blood, but they are very lethargic, like government officers in Sri Lanka. What we can do is, we can increase our fat and protein intake than carbohydrate intake. When we take carbohydrates, that is starchy foods or sugar food, sugars are dangerous thing. So then we get insulin spikes, higher insulin spikes. When the insulin level in the pancreas is working hard to get more and more insulin, just like the government, when the government comes, they try to employ their people, more and more of their people. Like that, the pancreas also, like government, they try to put more and more people into the more and more insulin into the blood. When the government try to get the people into government service, to the henchmen, in that way pancreas try to get more and more. They are lethargic. When it is more high, they are going to be lethargic, just like government office. Just think that. So they are lethargic. So they are not doing their responsibility. Their duty is there in the blood, but they are just there. Glucose is there, free fatty acid is there. So what we can do? One is, we should not take the more and more glucose. That is, we have to go by glycemic index. Glycemic index, they are terms, but you must know this thing. Glycemic index is when we take potato and when we take sweet potato, the sweet potato has lower glycemic index. Potato has higher glycemic index, that is more closer to glucose. Rice also has a little bit higher. Carrot has the higher glycemic. But sweet potato has an advantage, I don't know why, they are chemical. That is giving, that has a lower glycemic. What is lower glycemic index? How long it, after taking a meal, how long it will take convert to glucose in the blood from at the intestine level, at the gut level. How long a food meal, a glucose meal is going to give us a glucose, how fast. So that is not good. When it is fast, pancreas has to work hard to release more and more insulin, and insulin is going to get resistant if it is happening frequently, if it is happening more frequently, or this thing. Sweet, that is more dangerous. Sugar, refined sugar, more dangerous. Then and there it's going to go into glucose at the gut level in the blood, and then that is going to increase insulin levels. When it is more frequent, more often, then you are going into insulin resistance. So other one, what we can do is take frequent carbohydrate, but not big meals. Like in Sri Lankan diet, we take a big meal, big starchy meal, fat. That's not good. It should be, must be quarter size of your plate. Your starchy food should be quarter size. That is the new recommendation. Earlier it was half, now it is quarter. That is, they understood that. So you have to get energy, you have to take more fat. That's the way. Fat. That is reversing the earlier thinking. Earlier thinking has become myths now, but the modern thinking is now you have to take better fat. That is, you have to better take avocados, like olive oil, some fat, good fat containing things. And other important one is that you have to take high quality protein. High quality protein is going to give longer time not to stimulate insulin into that much. And Other one is you have to know the insulin response. Insulin response is very high with refined sugars. Insulin response is higher with carbohydrates. Insulin response is very low with fat. In between fat and carbohydrate, you get protein. With protein, with amino acids also, increase the insulin demand. Insulin demand increase with the protein, but it is very much low. That's why I was telling fat and protein is much safer for you not to get insulin demand. When the insulin demand is there, pancreas is going to give that much. So when insulin demand is there, pancreas is going to give more. So just like students' unions and workers are demanding government jobs. Then the government is going to give more government jobs. Then we are going into vicious cycle. No productive workers. So we are going into economically down, like diabetic Sri Lanka. So like that. Another one is doing exercises. Doing exercises within 2 hours after meal. Within 2 hours after meal is much good. The muscle activity itself is going to increase demand for glucose into the muscle cells. So that way, insulin has a hand support from the muscles. Then insulin need not to do much work. So low demand for insulin, and muscles are going to do the support. It's like a supporting system. Muscles are working to get more and more glucose there. So that way you can reduce your going into insulin resistance. So those are the ways that I was thinking for you to understand this thing. Always when you are taking a food, don't think of hunger. Don't think only of hunger. You have to think of how much of carbohydrate I am taking, starchy food, whether it is quarter of our plate, whether I am taking fruits and vegetables, half of that. So with vegetables and fruits, you are getting more soluble fibers. Soluble fibers are very good system for you to reduce the glucose absorption or glycemic index low. Lowering the glycemic index of your foods with fibers, soluble fibers in your meal. So that's very important. So beans, oranges, and they all are going to have fibers. Vegetables has a lot of fiber. That's why half of your plate should be consisting of vegetables and fibers. And you need muscle power, and increase muscles. And for that, you need proteins. Proteins are going to, when you exercise, 1 gram of protein is good protein, high quality protein, biological value 100% close to that. There's another video I have done. And then by that way, you are getting 5 grams of muscle mass, irrespective of your age. You can be very old or you can be very young. Muscle mass, if you do resistant exercises. So that is the way you do those things, walk, exercise, do resistance exercise also, like bicycling, cycling, and take less carbohydrate, contain and have more fat, good fat containing foods, more fibers in the foods, and then by that way you can monitor your next blood report. You monitor your where you going, where are you going to lethargic, resistance insulin formation, or whether you are going to get a strong, responsible, good working, responsibly working insulin levels in your blood. So thank you very much for watching this video. That is what I know. If you have anything, you can comment, or if you think this is useful for your fatty friend, belly fat friend, you can share, or you can subscribe for my nutrition meals. I am going to give about nutritional facts. This is our responsibility. Those who know about them should tell their things to their people, the people, public, for the public. Thank you very much.